Gentleman yields back. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Sessions, for 5 minutes.
Madam Chairman, thank you very much and for holding this hearing. Mr. Gulliver, thank you for being here. I'm going to aim my few minutes with you. Delighted to see that you are here today. You have written rather extensively about what happened in 2022 when the S&P companies spent over $900 billion to buy back their own stock. Followed up in May of 23 by the Securities and Exchange Commission adopting the rule that would have required public companies to disclose information about stock repurchases, including certain repurchase data within 1 business day and the rationale for doing that. In other words, the federal government would require you to tell us why you did what you did, a private business. This was vacated by the Fifth Circuit then later on December the 19th, 2023. The essence of the argument was that the SEC did not even follow their own rules, did not include a proper cost-benefit analysis of what this regulatory overview would mean to the industry. But what bothers me is it's based upon a philosophy. In my opinion, it's a parasite designed to kill the host by the SEC. It is actually the SEC trying to work against that which they're expected to nurture and grow as part of not just American exceptionalism, but perhaps more important, capitalism. Can you lend some ideas about this action by the SEC to the entire marketplace?
I think that was an example, the SEC repurchase disclosure rule is an example of a particularly flawed cost-benefit analysis and the importance of doing a high-quality analysis. So the SEC asserted that there was a problem where executives were, buying back shares on a particularly advantageous basis for themselves, but in fact they didn't provide any evidence to support that claim. And the court found that the SEC is obligated to do so in all their economic analyses. So one positive take from this is that future economic analyses, if the SEC claims there's a market failure, they have to substantiate it. The second issue was the SEC said there was no data to really do an in-depth analysis of whether or not this is a problem. But commenters provided the SEC with that data. And the court said, we're invalidating the rule for that.
So you've come to this committee and we hear about the cops on the beat, how important they are for the SEC to do this. Yet they're the party that wants to defund the police. They're the ones that don't want police who follow the law and rules. A police officer on the beat just can't go make up his own reason for doing something, can they? No, they cannot. But the SEC believes they can. Time after time, we've seen this or 1071, any of a number of examples where the SEC does what they want to do. I believe, and I think what's been proven by this committee, is that they are attempting to put into place and to harm economic growth of the United States of America, the marketplace, and the things that would build value not only for all Americans, but the stock market in America specifically. What other examples do you have of this overreach and overregulation?
I think one of the most concerning examples is the SEC reaching into private markets. Our private markets have been successful for a number of reasons, but what we've been seeing in those markets is a reduction in the fees that the large private funds charge, increasing performance, very strong performance, and small companies getting a lot of funding in these private markets. So the SEC is shifting in a direction of bringing more public regulations into these private markets, and I think that would be a big problem because a big reason that companies are staying private longer is to avoid the burdens of being a public company.
And that harms new entrants, doesn't it? Who many times would be minority or women owned and trying to gain entrance into the marketplace, they're making it far more difficult for them not only to enter the marketplace, but to be successful. Would you call them activists?
I think it's been a very aggressive SEC, unprecedented.
Well, it's against the free enterprise system. That's what this hearing's about today, and I want to thank each of you for taking time to be here today. Madam Chairman, I yield back my time.